Welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter. Hey, Nick. Continuing a mini series that Nick is running, which is awesome, which is covering actually a fun topic. I mean, all the topics that Nick does is fun, but I will reiterate that it's a fun topic. Loops in FileMaker. So loops can be difficult for a lot of people. We had our beginning intro to all of it yesterday. We're going to continue some fun stuff with today. If you'd like to support the channel, you'd greatly appreciate we're just going to scroll down. I believe if you scroll down on here, you can see the FM training bundle options. Every once in a while, I get someone who goes like, hey, Margaret, I'm glad that you guys do this free live stream 5 days a week, but also you don't, one, cover the topics that I want, and two, I don't like the conversational style. So if you're looking for a much more focused approach to learning FileMaker, that would be our video training course. We are very specific. Videos range from 4 minutes or even 2 minutes sometimes to like 30, I think at max, and there's not a lot of those. We cover pretty much everything under the sun to get you on your feet and making your own FileMaker databases. I can say that word. So cool. I think we're probably good. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Marge. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today. So thank you for the introduction as usual. Thank you for joining us today. And I'm very happy that we are together today. And I will continue the loop experience, in FileMaker. So a loop is something we use very, very often because it allows things that, we do on many records, right? So we need to do when we need to do that something on the file set or creation of records or whatever, right? We use loops, right, to do that. But I want to I want to show you that sometimes we can avoid the loop, like I did yesterday with the duplication of records, right? Um, because the loop is slow, and I did a dramatic demonstration yesterday where, after in local, after like 5 minutes, I wasn't even at the half of the process, when with another technique it's like click, right? So to do exactly the same thing, and in very more, but in much more comfortable manner, right? So sometimes it is good to know perfectly, you know, the it is better to use the FileMaker feature, right, in order to know the FileMaker feature, right, in order to support us to build something else, right? So sometimes we focus everything on the scripts when we can do part on the scripts and part on the schema, for example. Use more the relationship instead of using scripts, for example, right? So this can be helpful, right? So, but sometimes, the loop can be very useful, and sometimes they are mandatory. We can't do otherwise, right? So now I want to show something like an advanced experiments on loop, right? To try to get like two embedded loop together, right? And I'm going to show you what is the problem, right, on this type of process, right? So what can be the problem you encounter, and how to prevent to be stuck, prevent to be like a never-ending loop, and to get things easily debuggable, because this is a problem. Most of the time, we have problem because we can't debug easily. My technique for debugging easily is to get everything on the table. So when I say everything on the table, is to prepare everything, right? And on top of the scripts, you gather all the information you need to gather, right? And then during the process, you use what you get. It's like a chef on the in the of the high cuisine, right? The kitchen, right? You get everything on the table, right? Everything is on the counter. He has all the utensils and everything, and then he can cook, right? Because you cannot. you know, so, so you need everything on the table. You need to think scripting the same way. You put everything on the table. Sometimes, yes, it's heavily unnecessary what I'm doing. What I'm doing is technically unnecessary. It's unnecessary to go and create it's unnecessary to create a variable on top of the script to gather a field when you can just say, get the field. Yeah, but if you get the field directly, you will never know what the field is, right? And you can't debug it because you don't know if the field is empty or why it failed. And if you have everything on your eyes, you can say, okay, oh, that's why it fails because this ID is missing, right? Oh, this stuff is missing. Oh, this
Hey,
stuff.
Nick,
What? Yeah. Wait.
can
Yes.
you put your headset a little bit closer to your mouth so you
Oh, yeah. Okay. I tend not to put that in automatic because it doesn't work well for me with this headset. Okay, so and for the loop, you need to talk, you need to think the same way. Okay. So let me show you. So let's share my screen. So are you seeing my screen? Everybody's watching?
Yep, cool.
Okay, okay. So what do I want to do? I want to do a loop right here, but I want to do an embedded loop, so I want to have a loop within a loop. And I know this is a very, it can be cumbersome, okay? And so I'm trying to do something simple enough, right? I want to get all the departments for all departments, right? I want to select the cities, right? For all departments, for each department, I'm selecting the cities, right? So for this one, right, I'm going to select this and um, this and legal departments and Pittsburgh, for example, right? So I'm going to do this and Pittsburgh, right? So, and I'm going to not export this, but I'm going to, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to update a date or something. I'm going to do something like last update, I don't know, counts, for example. I want the count on this. Like I don't know anything date. I'm going to put the date. Something like this. I don't really care. It's just for the demo of the loop, right? So okay. And I'm going to put a date here, or timestamp, timestamp. Timestamp. Oops. Something like this. And just for the demo, right? Okay. Timestamp. Okay. So I'm going to get the list of all the departments, right? And within this loop, I'm going to look for each city, right? And do, right, updates, an update like this, okay? So I'm taking all the departments and I'm counting how department I have, okay? And then here, I have a loop. So let me duplicate this, export here. So this is experts. Now this is, top, yeah, expert loop. Yeah. Stamp by department. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting the list of departments, all the department on a unique value like I did yesterday, and I'm counting them, right? Then I have a counter here, but this counter, I'm going to have it named counter 1. This is a counter 1, right? Then I'm getting the first loop. I'm going to get the first department in that list. And I'm doing a perform restore, perform find restore on the current department, right? And here it where it will change here. So we don't do this, right? And here we do another what's the name? Loop, right? We have another loop. Because here I will get a department, right? Like this one, right? And I will get many cities, right? So I will get this city. This is the city in the legal department. Unique values of this. This is all the city I have, right? So I'm going to look for each city, right? For each city. So I do, but I need to get now the list of, I need this, but the same for the list of cities, right? Right. And this is list of cities, list of cities, list of cities, make sure that everything connect correctly. Right? So now here I'm getting the list of cities, unique value, right? And I want to do the same. So I need a counter here within here because, sorry, this is here. See, the difficulty of the loop is to know what does when, okay? Because I'm doing this, and this. Then, based on this, I'm getting the list of all the cities, and I'm counting the list of all the cities. But here, now I have two value counts, right? So if I have two variable like this, right? This one will replace this one. And if I replace this one, this will fail. So let's continue as is. Okay, let's continue as is. Right? I have two loops. So that means I need two counters. Correct? Because I have one counter for this and one counter for this. If I do this, if I keep the same name, what will happen? It will do the first loop on this. We'll put this one on. It will say one, and then I will do this, and here it will continue counting on the same counter. So that will become two, but that will be false, right? Because it had set this one, and here another one. So you guessed it, it needs to be the counter two. Right? Right? If you want to be more specific, you can say counter department, counter city, if you want, right? But counter one, counter two, I think is enough to understand what we do, right? So now I have two counters, correct? So I can get the current city, which is the list of cities, counter two. Yes, because here I will get all the cities, right, for these departments. All the cities for this department. And the counter two says, okay, from this list of cities, right, I want whatever city, the first, the second, the third, correct? Right. So, and I want to do, right, perform find, correct? And the perform find is departments, this, and the current city. So I have two, the city and the department. So I have here, this loop here, I set that department, the first one. Here, this loop here, I set which city, and I'm going to reuse on the perform file. This will change, but this not. This will change next time. So the perform restore will get this department from this variable. And this will do a, you understand? So, and then we can say replace field content and the stamp with the get stamp, right? But now I have two loops and embedded loop, right? I want to stop that loop, right? So I need this, the counter to equal value count. But see here, I have two value counts. We cannot do this. This value count here is for that loop. This value count here is for that loop. So you guessed it, I'm going to call that value count 2, and I'm going to make this to make sure that the counter 2 equal value count 2. This is value count 2, and this is value count 1 to be more, this is value count 1 and 1. When you use this type, that's why I like to use numbers instead of doing counter department, counter cities, because it's harder to read, right? Because here I can say here how I can make sure that everything works. Value count 1, counter 1, exit loop, counter 1, value count 1. So I'm good, right? Value count 2, counter 2, counter 2, counter 2 equal value count 2. I'm good. I know this is correct. If you put counter department, counter city, it's hard to read. I don't know if you agree with me. Okay. So, so this now, right? I'm pretty much ready to go. This loop will go through all departments, right? And this loop is going through all the city within that department, that given department. But something is missing here. Who can tell me in the audience what is missing? Something that will make everything fail.
Do you need a commit?
No.
Any suggestions, anybody?
Yeah, suggestions, or nobody was following me?
Next record, someone suggested.
No, I don't need a next record because I'm doing that's the beauty. I'm doing this with a list in a variable. So I'm taking everything in, it's a variable. I don't care about, I'm doing a perform file and a perform file. No, this is not what is missing.
You need to reset the counter.
Yeah. Who said that?
Dennis.
Yeah. So you got a good point. I need to reset this on each loop. If I don't, this will keep going. Because when I do this loop, the second counter need to be reset to 0 because I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, and then I go to the when it's done, right? Well, it goes to the next loop, right? I reset, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Otherwise, he keep going 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He keep going, and then this is no longer valid. It won't work, right? So good point. You got it. When you have each loop, right? When you have each loop, you need, right? You need to reset the counter on the next counter need to be reset on each loop. right? This one need to be reset, right? And if you have a third one, you need to reset again because you can have multiple loops together like this, right? So let's see how this works, how it behaves. So I perform fine. So I have my first, right? So here, that's why I like this because this is easy, right? So I have one. I have only sorry. I need to show all. Boom. Okay. Oof. Oof. Okay. So the variable is cool because you see I have 15 departments. So I do this, do this, do this, do this. Let me close this, otherwise I don't know why it's so freaking slow when I do this. Okay. Okay, so now I have my first, right, department, and let's see how it looks. I have 15 departments, and I have 197 cities, right? I have my list of city, list of departments. The current department is this, right? And now I can continue the loop. I'm setting the counter 2 and the current city. I'm setting the counter 2 and the current city. And then I can say perform restore. And then I have 2. And then I have, maybe I can do something cool, better than the stamp counts, right? This is better. So let's do this instead. How many I have, right? So let's do this. Gets found count, right? That's better. I know why I'm doing this. I will show you next. So let's do it again. Okay. So I'm here. Boom, 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 boom. We know that works. Boom, boom, boom. Perform restore. I replace this. Okay. It's not showing, but it's okay. And then I do the next loop, right? So what the next loop do? I'm still there now, right? I'm here. It set the counter to number 2. The next city is Kailua, or it must be like from Hawaii or something like this. Perform restore. Oh, I have more, right? I replace and I continue, right? And I continue and I continue and I continue until this counter to reach 197, right? Correct? So, so let's run this until there, right? So we run this, boom. So it did, I am counted to 197, value count 97, 197. So it exit this loop. And now I continue, right? Doing this. This is another department because now the counter 1 is 2 and the department is finance. So I continue doing this. So how many city I have? 195, right? So we continue this, boom, 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 and I continue next loop. I perform this, how many CT I have, 202, etc., etc., etc. So all of this is cool, right? So let's remove this and continue. So let's run the whole thing, right? Okay, done. So something, so far, do we have any question, by the way?
Yes. Does it work if you get a 0 found count?
That's the point. So I'm going to get there, right?
We do have another question, which is
Yes,
perform find is better than enter find mode set field perform find?
yes. It makes, I know this doesn't show anything. You don't see anything. What inside this? And I know it bothers you. I know that. Okay. But uh, it is better to do something like this, to use this, right? Because otherwise you make your script like unreadable. You know, I wish we could collapse this and expand and collapse. I wish we could do that, right? I wish we could have this list, right? I wish they redo this dialogue is coming from the Jurassic time of FileMaker, right? So I know, right? But uh, it is slightly faster, but it is debatable. Okay. But what it is, it makes things much simpler. And also, you have a problem that is hard to I mean, let's say you want to do this. You want to find record like this, right? But you want to omit I don't know, Pittsburgh, for example, right? So now in one doing this, right? Because um, what you cannot do in a script like this, it's you enter find mode, right? You enter find mode, and then you set fields, and then you say perform find, correct? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so you need to you enter the find mode, you do new record requests, but you cannot do this. Switch the request in an omit request. You understand? I enter the find mode. I have a new request. I set the fields, right? But I can do a new request and set another field. And then, I cannot do a request. I want Pittsburgh, right? New request. I want to omit Pittsburgh and I want legal. Okay. I want to, you know what I mean? I cannot do that like
No,
this.
because I think you can do like omit everything found as a script,
Yes, but
but
it's
it
not the
doesn't.
same.
Yeah.
So you need to do a constraint. You need to do a find. So you need to do a perform find and then enter find mode again, right? Set the fields, right? And then do a constraint found set. That will do, right? So you enter the find mode, you set the field you want, you perform the find, and then you enter the find mode again, right? You set the field and you constrain the found set. Well, this is BS to me, right? Instead of doing just this, and you can say find this, new, omit this, you know, and new and find this, right? You do something like this. I mean, to me, this is way better than doing this, you know, nonsense here, right? Because you have one unique perform find script step, not all of this. So if you have a simple script, yeah, maybe you can do it. But if you have a very large script, and that will be based on, you know, I have a webinar coming on the how to build a complicated script, right?
Mhm.
A large script, right? So what I will say during that webinar, the best way to do a large script is not having the script large, right? That a point, right? Not having the script large.
Mhm.
That will be the best way, right? So this is a complete nonsense to me, right? Complete nonsense. But but I need to feel the pain on this because this is unreadable. I totally agree with you. I totally agree, and we need to force FileMaker to do something, you know, Claris to do something for this. But this, you know, this is not elegant at all. In my opinion, I'll say is, you know, I I used to feel the pain, so it's okay, you know. So do we have another question?
Someone wanted to ask, what are we doing with all the data that we're collecting?
What are we doing?
Yes.
Oh, nothing. It's just for the demo.
Yeah.
you know, I just do this. Sorry for that. It was it's a demo, right? It's not something we have to do. I mean, I just want to show. So I have the counts for used, you know, Montpellier Media Radio. I have four, right? So I'm going to do something, right? I'm going to do something now. I'm going to do something now, right? So with this. So now let's say, right? Um, I want to because now thanks to this, right? I have accounts. I know how many on this city, how many for this guy, how many I have, right? So you know, it's like a counter, right? It's like a count. The Do we have another question?
Nope, you're good.
No. Okay. So this is cool, but something is missing. Something big league. Something that if you have a much complex situation, right? Especially a situation where you need to change, you know, you need to go to another table, right? For example, I want, right, to do something. It's a demo. I'm not saying that's something that makes sense, but I want to make a demo that you can understand easily, right? I have another table here, right? This is test. This is a result, okay? Results, results. Yeah, this is the result, right? And I want to put first, last, department, and city, right? So let's say I want to do that, right? So I have another table here, results, right? I want to gather all of this, right? But here, I don't, I don't want to do, I don't want to do this, right? I don't want to replace this. So um, this was count, and was move by departments, right? So I have the same scripts, but instead of doing this, right, I want to go, right, to the layouts, results, right? and I have another loop, right? So this becomes to be a little bit more complex, correct? Right? And I want to do a new record, right? A new record. And so I have this, right? Find what I will do. I want to export this, right? I'm going to export this, the content, and import here, right? Now, what do I do? Well, what I can do, something because I want the loop here. So yeah, so I have this. I'm going to collect set variable, right? And I'm going to collect uh, full, I'm going to collect the data, right? And it's the contact. I want this. Oh, let me create something. I just invent something, right? I want to do something else, but I prefer to do something. Here, I want the full name, right? So how we do a full name? A full name that I don't have, if I don't have a first or I don't have a last, I don't have a blank, an extra blank, right? So how we do a full name? We do a list of first and last, right? So what this will do, right? First and last. Oh, I mean the result. I need to be in contact. Up. First and last. Why is not working? List first and last. Oh, because I'm not in the here. Okay. Okay. So first and last. This is what it's doing. And then I'm doing substitute on this. I'm substituting the Claris return and I replace by a space. That means if I have no first name and I have a last name, I don't have a blank. Because the blank, the space, will come only if I have a Claris return. But I don't have because I don't have Nick. If I put Nick here, I have the Claris return. So, the list, you understand? If I remove this, I don't have an extra space. So this is how you do to get a clean full name. Because if you don't do this, if you do this, right? What will happen if you don't have the first name? You have a blank. Or you don't have the last name. You have a blank. Correct? So, and if you say if the first name is empty, first name, then it's nightmare. This is way better. This is way better. To do this, right? So I'm copying this and I'm going to build my full name. Okay. This is my full name. And I want the list of those full names. So I do a list of full names. Oops. And this is a summary. Create. Oh, that why it insult me. Okay. Summary, full name, list of full name. So let's initiate this auto entry calculation. So what you do to initiate this, one of the two fields involved in the calculation are replaced by itself. Okay. So now I have my full name. Okay, full name. So I want in my results, I want to do something like this. Full name, add on this, right? Full name, department, city, correct? Right? So I want to reorganize the data like this. You understand? Full name, okay. In another table. So I'm here and I said list of full names, right? So that will be list of full names, right? Of course, I need a count for that. Of course, I need a count for that. That will be value count 3 because I have 1, 2, and 3. And this will be the value counts on this list, right? So I get the list of department. For each department, I'm getting the list of the city. For each city, I'm getting the list of the people. Then I'm going to my results, and I have another loop with a counter, right? Set variable on a counter 3. You got it, right? And the counter 3 is +1. You got it as well that for each of these loops, I need to reset the counter 3. This one, I reset the counter 2, and this one, I reset the counter 3, right? And I say new record request, and I said set fields full name. Oh, sorry. First, set variable, and I want the current full name, and that will be the get value on my list of full names by the counter 3. So I have my list, each counter, okay. New request, set full name with the current full name. So that means I get the first name for the first loop, the first name of this loop, and I'm putting that here. In the same time, I want to set the city with the current city I am in, because this loop happened on this city. And I want also the current department on the current department I'm here. Correct? So now I'm going to create a record for each full name by this, for each department, each city, and I have a list of full names, and then I'm creating a record where I'm saying this full name, boom, boom, boom. Correct? Right? Okay. So, and now I need the end of that third loop, which is counter 3, value count 3. Counter 3, value count 3, this. Correct? But this is cool, right? It's okay. We're good here. But there's a problem here, right? I need to go back. I need to go back to where I was. Okay? Correct? I mean, I have this, and I don't want to go to layout here, right? I don't want that to happen in another layout. and leaving where I was, right? Instead of doing a go to layout, right? You do a new window and you go to the layout you want to go in a new window. This happens in a new window and then you close it. This works in perfect isolation. This will work. This is where the action happens. There's no action here, right? Or very little. Here, because if I go to that result, I need to go back to the previous layout. It's not comfortable. It is not comfortable. So it is more comfortable to have a new window, right? Here. And then you have a loop and you create, close, right? So demonstration. When you do this, you can read much easily what happened. And if I may, right, I will do this as well here. I will put all, this is okay, current layout. I will put everything in a window. So you create, yeah, I don't like to see this color. Okay. So you start somewhere, and for each loop, you create a new window. Boom, boom, boom. And I will show you why. So this will happen in a new window. This will happen in a new window. You close and you close, right? So let's see why. This, and you remember when I said I had 19 different loop, or 13, I don't remember, 13 embedded loops, right? Okay, so it was unmanageable until I finally got it, right? To get new window each time. So let's see why. And what I will do to be more comfortable, okay? You do this, get window top plus 50, window left plus 50. So you will see why, right? I'm here, I start, I perform the restore, the time, and then I have a new window, right? So I do my stuff, I perform. So now I see, okay, I had 692 here, I have 2 here. You can see what happened, where you were, where you are, you can see. If you go in another window, I can still see the result I get at the beginning here. I can see. So yeah, you will say, yeah, it's okay. What a big deal to see. Yeah, it's a big deal if you want to debug, if you have a problem. That's a big deal. Trust me, it's a big deal. And then, okay, new window again. So it's nice to have the window creating next to each other. So that the plus 15, plus 50, right? It create on the side. So now you can see, you can do new. You can see and you close, right? You perform another find, new window. You can see what happened. You can see what happened, right? And you can put some breaks and say, okay, perform this. Okay, good. I'm happy with the results. Close the window, right? And then you can see, okay, what next? Okay, I have those people, 6. Okay, new window. Okay, boom. You can see, right? And you can do, okay, continue, continue, continue. Okay, so let's play, boom. Okay, I'm happy with the result. Let's continue. You close, right? And then you perform another one. Okay, I have 5 people. Okay, so I expect to have 5 people more. You can see, and you can see, right? So this is way better, right? It's much more comfortable than to be, you know, like to hide everything in the same window. What do you think? So do I have an applause or do I have a thumb up or thumb down?
I think it's thumb up. Yeah, people are saying thumb up.
Thumb up, right? Because
Yeah.
no, yeah, because imagine you now, what the hell? I don't care about if I have 15 different embedded loops. I got the points, right? I know what to do now, you know, numbering, put numbers on the counter, not counter department, counter city, counter, no. On those very valuable. This is very valuable information, the counters and the value counts, because this is what makes you stop the loop where this should be red. They should turn that in red. This, they should turn that in red because exit loop is very important because you can get stuck and have a never ending, especially this one. Because if this one fails, right? If this one fails, well, it keep going, it will never stop, and then it keep creating records, right? You understand? So now visually you have a perfect connection. Free. You have perfect connection. And here's the same, 2, right? Perfect connection. Visual, 1, right? And here you have 1. You know, this one is the first, this one is the second, this one is the third. So you have a good visual, right, on the loop, a very good visual. And the window, the new window, helps you, right, to know what happened and to see, oh, something wrong, right? So somebody said, what happened, right, if there's a problem in the loop here? If there's a problem here, right? Correct? So this is what we have exit loop for, because we can put exit loop on many, you know. So you exit the loop if you have not a fan count, right? Yeah, but that's a little bit too harsh, right? Because you don't want to exit the loop. You want to ignore that, right? So when there's a problem here, so that's the issue. Yeah, if there's an error here, right? In that case, an error is not possible to do because I'm sucking the information based on real information. That means I cannot have a department here if it's not existing, if it's not going to find something. And I cannot have a city here if it's not something existing neither. But it's not always the case, right? So the problem here, we cannot have an exit loop here because if we exit loop, it will not go into the next, right? Is not going to go to the next, right? So the problem here, let me so and that's the reason why, right? I'm typically not using perform fine. I'm using the relationship, but I don't want to make the demonstration too complicated. So unfortunately, we need to do this, if not get found count, right? So in that case, you need to build a visual, right? So this is a problem, is where to put this, right? Within the first, right? This if and this if, right? Within the first. If get found counts, sorry, if get found counts, you do it. Then you copy this here, and this is in this loop here. This and if, right? So you have to found count, and here if found count, right? So if this happen, you do this. If this happen, you do this. I understand it's a little bit, yeah, I agree. I know what you think. I wish we have like a skip loop, skip. That means skip loop if, skip, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know if you agree with me.
No,
But now, what?
I said I get what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah,
That would be
so it would be awesome. So now that I have this, so I'm here. Let's run these scripts, right? So let's run it. So you can see what happened. You can see the counter changing, you know? You know what I mean? You can see the thing changing, right? You see what happened. You see we still in the first. You know what happened here? See? Yeah, it's so you can see that's why I'm putting 50. You can even put more if you want because I can see the thing changing here, changing here, and you have the counter changing here, right? So you can see what is happening, right? Now I know what you're going to say. Say yeah, that great, but I it slowed down everything, yeah, but because it displays something. You understand? I'm displaying something, but you can see what's happening, right? So let's stop the script, and this is what I am doing. I have the debug mode, and I have the normal mode. That's the debug mode. Uh, and right. So what will happen now? Well, let me show new window. I think it's too much. There's a point where it's not working anymore. This is the max we can go. You cannot put whatever you want here. That's a max. So 10,000. Okay, play. So now, why is showing this? It shouldn't be showing. Uh, it should hide this window. I don't know why. Um, Maybe it's too much here and boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I think this is new window here, new window here. Okay. It shouldn't show it. Yeah, now it's not showing it. So the window is not happening. So the new window is there, but I'm not showing it. So it will be faster because I'm not showing the window, right? I am not, correct? But technically, typically, this type of scripts I am not performing this type of script locally. I'm doing that on server. Advantage on server is not displaying anything. There's no displaying. There's no rendering. It's not going to try to render anything. So we don't care if the window show or not. It won't render anything on the server. So this consideration is no longer a problem, correct? Because typically I'm doing that on server. So question?
Not at the moment. I just think people appreciating the information.
Yeah. So I went a little bit too fast in my demo. So tomorrow will be like an opening, whatever you want.
Yes.
About loop, about whatever. We can talk about loop. We can talk about, I can show you some example of real world loops. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Real world loops. We could talk about the while thing again, since it's been a while.
Yeah, we can do that. Replacing we can do that. I went too fast. But we can go back, so see, the loop can be tricky at one point, right? It can be like, but I gave you the trick, like 35 plus year of experience. Then the new window, the number, the naming of the counters, how you count, gets a variable that you can see. What we want is to see, like you remember what I told you about the chef in the kitchen? You put everything on the table. Everything is on the table. Everything there. Everything. I could avoid this. For example, I can avoid this. Why I'm doing this? I can avoid. I mean, here for you, I can avoid this. I can say set full name with this. I can say set field with get value on this. But if I can put this here, I can put here. But if I do, I have no way to know what is the current full name, because it will set the field directly. Or I need to see the field. But if you don't see the field, you will never know. You understand? So, and most of the time, when I do something like this and I test it, I don't execute this, right? I run the loop and I see if this running well. If it changed the name, I say, okay, if it's working well, boom, I activate this, right? So everything, all the way I'm building scripts is because I have the debug in mind, right? Always. And most of the time, because I'm doing this, I don't need to debug because everything there I can see.
You can see what's happening, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this has been awesome, Nick. Seriously, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. And
we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow for new adventures.
Yep. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.